Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wraith, and today I'm going to be going over my guide to different ways of beating the Balrog, okay, Durin's Bane himself, and in specific it's against the legendary legion Depths of Moria, because I don't know if you are, but I know a few people are having some real dramas with taking down this legendary legion. It is absolutely fantastic, highly competitive in my opinion, because you've got the bodies to grab the objectives, and then you've got the Balrog, who is the beat stick, and the guy you don't really want to deal with. Now, before, the best way to deal with Moria, in my opinion, with the Balrog, was just break the goblins. If he brought a ton of goblins with the drummer and stuff like that, and a Balrog, you just break the goblins, grab the objectives and stuff like that. Sure, if you can shave off a wound against the Balrog, happy days, there's some VPs for you, but you can still win the game there. But that is no longer the case. With this legendary legion, basically, if the Balrog has 6 wounds or more, then the army cannot break. However, if he's got 5 wounds or less, then they can break as normal, and if you slay the Balrog, the force is automatically broken. So, this is a very effective way of stopping you from breaking Moria, because the Balrog is no easy feat to take down. Being a ridiculous fight 10, strength 9, defense 9, with 10 wounds is no laughing matter. And I can see where people are struggling, I really can, and I have struggled, okay? But it is doable, absolutely, without any shadow of a doubt, it is doable. But that's not the only thing with this. So, this new and improved Balrog, because 350 points definitely wasn't worth what you already got in the armies of the Lord of the Rings book. He needed more. I'm just kidding, of course. He's got Shadow, so basically shooting attacks will only ever hit the Balrog on a 5 or more. Fair enough, stops the double tap with the siege weapons. Cool. I'm fine with that, because he's got no fate. Then he's got Dominion of the Balrog. Now, I've mentioned the not being able to break and things like that, but additionally, all Moria goblins within 6 of the Balrog gain a +1 bonus to their fight value. That is nuts, okay? That's really good. I mean, they only fight 3 now, but still, that's insane, okay? And it says friendly goblin models. And in this list, you can be bringing Black Shield Captains, normal Goblin Shamans, Black Shield Shamans, and Moria Goblin Captains. So, you can buff these Captains up to being Fight 4, which is fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Okay? Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, what else? We get And Flame. So, once per game at the start of the shooting phase, the Balrog may select a single enemy model within 3 inches of it and roll a d6. On a 2+, that model immediately is set ablaze. This is an active ability. After the Balrog has used this ability, it is no longer benefiting from the Shadow ability. So he explodes into flame. So a very cinematic moment in the film where I think he's on the bridge, stood there looking at Gandalf, the old grey, Big G himself, and he just erupts with flame for a second to look awesome. Well, they decided that needed a special rule, which set ablaze, and it's basically, I think the initial hit is like strength 9, so it's a free strength 9 hit on a 2+, and then from that point onwards you either, roll on the floor, or you just take the like strength 5 or whatever hit every turn. In my opinion, that's extremely powerful, because, I mean, usually in an army you've only got like one model who can really deal with the Balrog, so Strider, for example, you just set him ablaze, there you go, boom, have a massive hit on your face, especially if he's mounted as well, anyone like that, strength 9 set ablaze hit, you're going to kill their mount or whatever, it's insane. Now, the last thing, which I think is the cherry on top, is fantastic, the effects of the Moria Goblin, or Moria Black Shield Drum, is increased from 18 to battlefield wide. Yeah. That's pretty crazy, and as long as one of the drummers is alive, it counts as a banner for VP points in scenarios. That's so strong. So most legendary legions, there's a drawback. So with this, you can't bring any other big monsters, okay, and you can't bring any other named Goblin heroes. But that's fine, because the only other Goblin hero people tend to love in competitive lists was Groblog. For 50 points, and that's because he's got his Mithril Crown on a 4+, all friendly goblins within 3 inches of him, +1 to their fight value. Yet, well, now the Balrog can do it. Okay? And you just bring captains for the might. Insane. Now, as stated before, a lot of people try to avoid this bad boy, okay? Just break the goblins, happy days, who cares? Yeah, he's got drum at the back, but it doesn't count for VP points. Now it does. So if you're playing a scenario that gives you banner VP points and breaking points, they all give you breaking points, it's gonna hurt. So how do we defeat this fiery demon? Well, I'm going to give you a few examples of what models you can bring if you have access to them that are very good counters to the Balrog. Okay, the first one I absolutely love, and I think it's absolutely silly, and I'm sure at some point they'll come to their senses and FAQ it. It is the Mirkwood Spiders. Okay, Mirkwood Spiders are pretty fun. Yeah, they got 2 attacks. Yeah, they're spidery. They can climb all over the place. Who cares? What they've got is their web. Okay, their web, which is a range 8 throwing weapon. Okay, they're hitting on a 5+, but it doesn't matter. If you bring 3 of these, you're probably going to roll a 5+ at some point to hit the Balrog. And they're throwing weapons, so if you're being especially, like, I don't know, tricksy, you can decide to charge in with these spiders. If you can roll the courage high enough, because they're courage 2, courage 1 with the Balrog because of his debuff. But yeah, there's a good chance that you can paralyze him. Fantastic, and that's exactly what it does. He comes under the effect of the paralyzed magical power when hit by this web. Usually, if a hero is hit by this, they can use a fate point to ignore it, but the Balrog has no fate. And whilst he stood there salivating, trying to roll a 6 in the end phase, you can beat him up in combat, because he can't really do anything otherwise. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, the second way of beating the Balrog is getting some way to lower his fight value. Okay, so the best ways you can have, well, talking about the Dark Denizens of Mirkwood, we've got Bat Swarms, okay, or even Moria Bat Swarms, but we're going to talk about the Dark Denizens ones. Okay, 35 points, okay, and basically if he's in combat with the Balrog is half fight value, rounding down, okay, so he'll be fight 5. There is a lot of heroes that can match that and have strike. There are a lot of heroes who are over that and can strike, but you won't need to. So if you get this guy in, perfect, but it's harder because they need to take a courage test. The other way around this is ring bearers, okay? And off the top of my head, you've got Frodo Baggins, you've got Gollum. I'm sure you can bring Elendil with a ring, I don't know. Sure, why not? And you've also got Bilbo Baggins, the Master Burglar. The best of those options is Bilbo Baggins, because this is the Master Burglar version from The Hobbit. He basically ignores all the downsides to it, so he can move normally and all that good stuff. Okay, so all you have to do is get this guy in combat with him, and Bilbo's pretty brave, so he can do it, and he's got will. And he's half fight value, so he's fight 5. You get one more powerful hero in on him, so Thorin or anything, fight 6, and trap him. That's it, that's all you need to do. You don't even need to get in combat to trap him, you just surround him, and then have a few people in there that can hit him pretty hard. And you don't need to strike, so you can waste your might on heroic strength if you want, with piercing strike if you've got an axe as well. But all the other ring bearers, the downsides to them is A, they have to pass a courage test to get in. Secondly, you've got a 50-50 chance of your enemy moving your model, or you moving your own model. That's what the downsides of you wearing the ring is. Bilbo obviously ignores that, Master Burglar, but everyone else doesn't. The last way, or one of the last ways that I can think of beating this Legendary Legion, is you can still play the scenario, okay? So, of course, if you're playing Domination, you want to grab the objectives. It's nice and simple. You want to grab the objectives and kill the goblins. Kill the goblins, grab the objectives. Easy peasy, okay? Balrog, you can tie him up with other things, or do all sorts of trickery to try and avoid getting into fights with him. Until you get enough models, so basically you've cleared the board of goblins as much as you can, you're sat on the objective, and at that point you start throwing troops in to get yourself broken. Nice and easy, okay? To the death is one of the worst ones you can have versus this Legendary Legion, because you score victory points for wounding the enemy leader or killing them, okay? You're more likely to lose your leader than the Balrog going down, in my opinion. You've got the VPs for breaking, so if your opponent's broken and you're not, you get more, so 5. Yeah, it's going to be hard to break the Balrog if you're not very good at killing the Balrog, okay? Because as long as he's got 6 or more wounds, he's not broken. And the last one is for banners. He's got a banner. His drummer now counts as a banner, and they will always bring a drummer, because it's insane. Hold ground is not bad. Again, grab the objectives. If you can, you'll be spread out, so happy days. But 9 times out of 10, they'll probably be in like 2 warbands. Lords of Battle. Right, okay, Lords of Battle is not too bad for you if you've if you're good at taking out the goblins. If you wipe out his goblins, you tally up how many wounds you do to the enemy army, okay, and then get yourself broken. As long as you have killed more goblins than it takes for you to get broken, you can win this nice and easily. And just don't lose your leader. That's it. Reconnoiter, easy, kill goblins, run off the board. Okay? Yeah, that's all you want to do, really. Clash by Moonlight is okay, as long as you just leave them with the Balrog and you've got at least 2 captains alive. Okay? That's it. And Seize the Prize is fantastic. Literally, first turn, use a bunch of might to heroic march your way onto that prize. Okay, the artifact. And then dig it up and run. Okay, your might is going to be used for heroic moves and heroic marches. March away with that prize. Okay, just so the Balrog can't fight you. I had this with my Goblin town against them, and literally my tactic was get there first, put a load of goblins in between me and the guy trying to dig up the prize. It still took me about 4 turns to dig it up because I couldn't roll, but once I dug it up, I just ran. I ran to the left flank of the battlefield and then hovered around the centre line whilst I surrounded him with my chaff, aka my goblins, and then I chucked him over to the enemy's board side, his side of the board, which scored me 5 victory points. And the Balrog was tied up and his goblins were tied up. Happy days. But it takes a lot of models to do this. But even if you don't have that many models, it's still doable. Just get there first and hope you roll that 4+ to dig it up. Contest of Champions. Pray to God that you do not roll this scenario or come up against the Balrog, their Depths of Moria Legendary Legion with this, because the Balrog will heroic combat with his 4 attacks at fight 10, strength 9, okay, and just chew through your army. And he'll probably do it quicker than you definitely can. Okay. The only thing that's the downside is he hasn't got might, so he can't bump his 5 dual rolls to a 6, and he can't benefit from the banner. But as long as he keeps a goblin or a couple of goblins around the Balrog to jump into the same combat, he can use the banner reroll, the army-wide one. Capture and control, grab the objectives. An heirloom of ages past. Literally, all you want to do is take out the goblins, okay, as many as you can, and then go around grabbing the objective, okay? If you are very unlucky and the Balrog digs up the objective, you're going to have a very hard time because you now have to kill the Balrog. But if that doesn't happen, you should be alright, because you can just tire him out with a bunch of chaff until you're broken, or you never know, you might take 5 wounds off him. Other than that, that's it. Yeah. Let me know in the comment section down below how you think this Legendary Legion is. Have you had dramas with it, or is it easy peasy? No dramas, easy to take down. I love facing this. Yeah, I'd like to hear what you think. And if I've missed any tactics or anything that has worked for you, do let me know as well. Anyway, if you liked the video, do consider hitting the like button. And if you're feeling especially saintly today, do consider subscribing. But even if you don't do any of that, I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.